When the federal government began issuing Seamen Protection Certificates in 1796, lawmakers intended for these documents to shield American sailors from British mutiny. They had no idea that they were creating one of the earliest pathways to freedom and citizenship for Black Americans, decades before the Emancipation Proclamation. For Black men in early America, these certificates represented something extraordinary: official recognition as American citizens. In a nation where enslaved people were considered property and free Black people faced constant restrictions, the maritime world operated by different rules. On ships, Black seamen worked alongside white crew members as equals, their skills valued above their skin color. This wasn't accidental. Enslaved Black Americans had brought and handed down sophisticated maritime knowledge from their homelands, boat building techniques, navigation skills, and understanding of waterways that made them indispensable to America's growing shipping industry. From the Chesapeake Bay to Charleston's harbors, Black maritime experience helped build the nation's economy. Men like Crispus Attucks, a sailor and rope maker who became the first casualty of the Boston Massacre in 1770, exemplified this tradition of Black maritime service that would continue for generations. The certificates became tools of liberation in ways their creators never imagined. William, an enslaved sailor from Virginia, used his certificate to claim freedom after docking in Philadelphia in 1803. Frederick Douglass, though he never sailed professionally, borrowed a seaman's certificate to escape slavery in 1838, disguising himself as a sailor, a strategy that worked because Black seamen were common sights in ports. Later, Robert Smalls would use his intimate knowledge of Charleston's waterways to commandeer a Confederate ship and sail his family to freedom, eventually becoming a Union naval pilot. The numbers tell the story of Black Americans' commitment to maritime life. In Philadelphia, between 1800 and 1820, Black men held up 22% of seafaring jobs, while representing only 5% of the regional population. For many, the sea offered the only available pathway to steady wages and geographical freedom. These sailors formed a network of communication and support that stretched from Boston to New Orleans, sharing news of freedom and movements and safe havens. But this freedom came with dangerous costs. Southern authorities understood the revolutionary potential of free Black sailors who traveled internationally, witnessed different societies, and carried news between ports, including news of abolition movements. The fear wasn't unfounded. Black sailors had witnessed liberation movements across the Americas and brought those ideas home. After Denmark Vesey's planned uprising in 1822, South Carolina passed the first Negro Seaman Act, requiring the imprisonment of all Black sailors entering southern ports. Other states followed this model of systemic oppression. By the 1840s, cities like Charleston, Savannah, and Mobile each jailed over 200 Black sailors annually, treating freemen as potential criminals simply for being Black and mobile. Louisiana took a different approach, arresting Black sailors as alleged fugitive slaves. Free Black mariners found themselves imprisoned as authorities refused to recognize their documents. Police routinely destroyed sailors' freedom papers and certificates, stripping them of legal protection. The treatment was systematically brutal. Imprisoned sailors faced whipping, forced labor on chain gangs, and indefinite detention without trial. Yet resistance persisted throughout these ordeals. A group of Black sailors mutinied when discovering their ships were bound for southern ports, jumped ship to avoid arrest, or demanded captains pay their jail fees in advance. Some, like the 18 crew members who mutinied aboard the S.L. Bogart in 1857 when they learned their destination was Mobile, Alabama rather than New York, chose collective resistance. Despite these dangers, Black Americans continued seeking opportunity on the water, understanding that maritime life offered something unavailable on land: recognition of their skills and humanity. The Seamen Protection Certificates represented more than documents. They symbolized citizenship in a nation that otherwise denied Black people basic rights. Sailors used them to claim dignity, earn wages, travel freely, and sometimes secure freedom itself, a condition that wouldn't be extended to all Black Americans for decades to come.